Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. Gonna read through the full article here pretty much. There is a link in the description. And if you do like the content, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. Why are we looking at this subject? Well, mostly because the arrest situation is ridiculously lenient. So let me tell you what happened. Two men, Tweedledum, Tweedledee, Jose Zendejas, as well as Benito Madrigal, 25, 19 years of age. They've both been arrested in California for possession of $750,000 worth of fentanyl pills. Quite a few fentanyl pills. And so they were found in possession of 150,000 fentanyl pills during a California traffic stop. These two schmucks, Tweedledum, Tweedledee, they're from Washington. I mean, my eyebrows are raised. You know, is that offensive if my eyebrows are raised? They do have somewhat South American names, I think it's fair to say, but they are both from Washington, and they were booked after being busted with $750,000 worth of fentanyl pills. Yet, they were released the next day. That's right. Why the fuck would the authorities release these guys when they are clearly drug traffickers, drug dealers? By the way, that's my opinion. Could be wrong. Maybe they're not. Maybe these are all for personal use. They're clearly drug dealers. Are we allowed to apply some common sense occasionally, perhaps? But yes, they've been released. The sheriff is extremely angry. The sheriff strongly disagrees with the court order that released the two drug dealers, arguing that it's a public safety issue. Oh, you reckon, Sheriff? You reckon having 150,000 pills of fentanyl on the streets of California is a public safety issue? I'd kind of agree with you there. But he said that these decisions are made by the judge. So here's a quote from the sheriff. All inmates booked into Tulare County jails are sent through what is known as the risk assessment process through the Tulare County Probation Department. That risk assessment is then sent to a judge, who then determines whether or not the individual arrested is held on bail or if they are to be released. County Commissioner Mickey Verasimo, who reports to the judge of the Tulare County Superior Court, conducted the risk assessment and deemed the two fit for release. Hey boys, how you going today? Are you doing all right, fellas? Oh, that's good. Oh, I saw that you got in a little bit of trouble with one of the sheriffs for having 150,000 fentanyl pills. You weren't thinking of doing anything illegal with those, were you? No, sir. I wasn't with personal use. Oh, personal use. Okay, on your way. Come on, Sheriff. Don't be a big meanie. Let the boys go. Thankfully, they will return to court. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they won't go on the run or anything like that. But they're due to return to court July the 21st, when the judge will determine their charges. Well, I don't know. Well, perhaps the charge should be in possession of a gross amount of pills, which could cause irrevocable damage, could kill how many people? Fentanyl. We're learning how dangerous fentanyl is, aren't we? We're not all experts. But look, here's a little graph. Fentanyl-related overdose deaths per 100,000 residents. I mean, it's just increasing rapidly. 2012 to 2015, nothing. No deaths, seemingly, related to fentanyl overdoses. But 2016, things started to happen. And by the look of it, 2019, 2020, the shit hit the fan. And now you're looking at roughly 10 people every 100,000 residents are dying Okay, so that's 1 in 10,000 people. But that's pretty high. That's pretty high. That's very high. Earlier this year, in April, some state lawmakers attempted to pass legislation to establish possession of 2 or more grams of fentanyl to be a felony. 2 or more grams. Do you reckon this lot might weigh more than 2 grams? Do you reckon? Yes, indeed it would weigh more than 2 grams. So in California, they have tried to make it a felony to be in possession of 2 grams or more of fentanyl. And they tried to make fentanyl a Schedule 1 drug alongside meth, amphetamine, and heroin. But that law was rejected. If it had to have passed, if it were to have passed, traffickers would have spent 20 years to life in prison for distributing fentanyl that results in death. Okay, so look, how many deaths are going to be the result of this little package here? Do you reckon this is their first run? Do you think if they were doing this drug smuggle and if it was their first attempt at it, do you think they would have continued to do it? Do you think they still will continue? Seeing as they got arrested and then they were released by a judge the next day. Yeah, I reckon they're going to carry on doing this. I reckon they're going to carry on doing this. I reckon anyone else that is considering trafficking gross quantities of fentanyl are going to carry on doing it. Hey fellas, did you see our buddies, Jose and Benito? They got caught by the cops. Oh no, are they going to be have life in prison? Nope, they were let out the next day. All right, let's rock and roll. Both Republicans and Democrats have attempted to combat the fentanyl crisis, but some of their peers argue that harsher penalties are not the solutions. You guys in America, in California, maybe this is down to Los Angeles DA George Gascon. I'm not allowed to use the word that I want to use. You guys are very, very low IQ. Those that are in any way involved with the rejection of such proposals to reclassify fentanyl as a Schedule 1 drug, to try to increase the penalties, have harsher penalties for drug dealers, and your fucking district attorneys are going, no, if they wanna deal with $750,000 worth of fentanyl, 150,000 pills or so, let them do it. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's not as if that many people are dying from fentanyl overdoses. I'm sure it will calm down. What the fuck are these people thinking? Why is George Gascon still in his position? Why hasn't he been dragged out of his position? I should be careful with what I say. But I'm going to wrap things up here at this point, guys. This is a disgusting situation. In America, you have opened the doors to drug dealers and you're giving them a pass. You're catching them and you're letting them go. Your judges are letting them go. What do your judges want? Do your judges want your youth to die? Do your judges want your youth to be drug addicts? Is that what your judges want? That's a very legitimate question that I've just asked. There must be some motivation. There has to be some motivation for the judge to have made the decision that they made. And they decided to release these drug dealers. Why? Like, you have to ask that question. One answer, not necessarily the right answer, but one answer would be because the judge literally wants there to be a drug problem within their county, their state, etc., etc. That's one possible answer. Not saying it's the right answer. One possible answer. What's another possible answer? Don't know. Can't think of one. Gonna wrap things up here. Please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Thank you.